what we have here, I always get them mixed up, ST21, which is a CNC lathe. So you can actually put bar stock in your boat.
Never gets old, does it? Never gets old. What are you up to today, sir?
I did my taxes and just coming back in to see what was happening.
Okay. Hi there, guys. Welcome to today's Captain's Blog. I'm Chris Boden. It's 13:09 hours and my battery's low again. Man, we need the sun. We need the sun. The sun gives us hope. So Patrick's doing the tour and I'm just staged to do the Q&A, which is going to go out live for the first time. We're going to have the Q&A on live from Studio A, and that's going to be pretty cool. So you'll get to see that in a few minutes. Let's get back into the tour because people are starting to look at me, and that's bad.
But yes, we actually have another. I'm going to pick on Casey for a Sorry, I didn't see you there. Would you help out a little bit on some of what we can do here? Well, I saw a couple parts in there, and I was going to give a quick explanation of how it started as a single piece of aluminum and all the fun things that we've done to it.
These all started out as the same piece of raw material.
You never have been.
So I'm Chris. I'm the weirdo who kind of started all this. Certainly didn't do it alone. I did it with about 25,000 of my closest friends. And my job is to sit here with no script, no notes, no net, and answer absolutely any question you guys can throw, which is really cool. I like this part of my job a lot because I deal with a lot of reporters and the press and all that. They always ask the same dozen questions. It's very tedious, very boring. But when you guys come in, you're seeing this place for the first time, so you have all these really cool questions, especially when you come that lot. So, absolutely anything you want. There are no rules. It's pretty much impossible to embarrass or offend me because I'm super depressed. So, hit me. What do you want to know? What?
Do you know Ed Jellos?
No. Sure. Who's that?
I know some of his dad works here sometimes.
Okay.
So I was wondering.
His dad's name is Ed Cyril.
Yeah.
He might just be a member.
He might be a member. I don't. The only Ed I know off the top of my head is editor. We have a lot of people here though, and I don't get to meet everybody. So it's entirely possible. Do you know, is he a local member, like Grand Rapids? Because
Yeah, he's in Grand
okay.
Rapids.
I don't know him off the top of my head. I might know him by a different name. A lot of people here go by handles.
Okay.
Like everybody calls me Captain. So it's just a thing.
Speaking of local members, how many local members do you have that
A lot.
is the trade?
Oh, God, yes. I honestly don't know. We opened to the public January 1st. We still haven't started a membership drive. On January 2nd, we set a third of the building on fire because God has an immeasurable sense of humor. We had a very tiny fire, we had a very big mess, and it covered the majority of the lab in soot. We promptly closed to the public and got that all cleaned up. Last week, Wednesday, we started painting, which was the transition between demolition and cleaning to construction. We're building the new high voltage lab. That was Wednesday. Back to God having that sense of humor. On Wednesday, norovirus hit Grand Rapids in a big way. And it took out 200 students out of Comstock schools and just decimated them. I'm weird. The rules here are very weird for what normal people are used to. The entire concept of the E group is predicated on logic, reason, common sense. These are alien concepts outside this building. So out there, if you're working a part-time job and you're sick and you should not be at work, you need doctor's note to not go to work, but you can't afford to take the time off work to go to the doctor, which you also can't afford, to get the note so that you get time off work, which you can't afford. So people end up going to work very, very sick and giving a lot more people the virus and whatnot. I lost 4 staff members in a day. Just done. And said, no, we're done. We shut the lab down for a week. And the people who were affected, once they're feeling better, have to wait another week because it's like 3 to 5 days while you're still shedding viral cells and norovirus because, you know, they put this stuff on you. It's not hard to find. The CDC, there's, you know, people, smart people figuring this stuff out. Pretty cool. So we're like, okay, this is what you do. This is what we just shut the company down. Monumental pain in the butt. Cost us a fortune. Don't care because I kept the staff from sharing norovirus for a month. And I lost 4 guys. That's enough. Done. So, as far as how many members, we haven't launched a membership drive yet. We're just starting. This is what you're watching is our membership drive. This is us saying, we're here, we're open. If you want to come be a part of it, cool. It's not pushy sales. It's not my style. We don't guilt people into stuff. That's PBS. It's just, we're here. And the people that walk in this building are either going to think this is the coolest thing ever, or they're, I don't have to sell it. Because once they see it, they either really want to be a member, and we're the cheapest makerspace there is. We're not the only makerspace, there are others. I strongly encourage you all to go check out the other makerspaces in town. There's GR Makers, they're nice people, go check them out. Make your own decisions, it's not my job to sell it. What? You'll lose all the blood from that on. It's terrible.
I ask if kids can come with parents to help on the project.
Kids can come with parents, but you can't come on your own, because lawyers. If you're 16, you can come, and that's the line where we decide if you need a parent or not. Under 16, you have to have a parent. And that isn't just, this isn't like the Children's Museum where you have to come with a parent, where the parents all hang out in the one room and all the kids, nuh-uh. The moment you can't reach out and touch your kid, I will see to it that he's given 6 espressos and a free puppy. Because you guys can appreciate this. How old are you?
9.
Okay, how old are you?
11.
You know how sometimes parents, when they talk to you like you're an idiot?
Yeah.
And it makes you crazy?
Yes.
We don't do that here. Okay, I've been yelled at because apparently there's a rule. When you're addressing a child, I'm supposed to talk to you like you're missing half your brain, and I'm supposed to kneel down like this and say, and it's dumb because you're just you have a brain, you're a smart person, you haven't figured everything out yet. They fill libraries full of stuff I don't know, and I've got like 20 years on it. But it doesn't make you an idiot. Here's what I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, okay? I think if you want a daycare center where the whole world is covered in Nerf edges and all we can do is sit around and play with bubbles and Legos, that can be fun, but that's fun when you're this age. I think that at 11, you're smart enough to know the table saw can eat you, high voltage hurts, fire burns, don't touch fire. And I think if I put faith in you to make sure that your parent knows what you can handle. I'm not your dad. I don't know anything about you. But your dad does. And he should have the choice to say, yeah, she can play with the power drill, she's cool there, but she's not ready for the radial arm saw yet. And I should let him make that choice. And I think that if you don't take the sharp edges off the world, and if I let you have the ability to make mistakes, and sometimes you're going to bleed, and sometimes you're going to skin a knuckle, because this is real work, and sometimes it hurts. My hands are covered in scars. That's just part of the process. I think that the kid that eats too many marbles doesn't grow up to have kids that eat too many marbles. And I think if we dumb it all down, and we put all the Nerf edges on everything, and I make it super safe to protect the wee precious children, and I talk to you like you're an idiot, that someday you're going to vote. And if everybody treats you like an idiot and you don't get to actually learn anything, you're going to make really dumb decisions later on. So,
Agreed.
That's how I see it. I got a lot of ideas like that, and sometimes they yell at me. I think we should put a 7-year-old on the board of directors. Think about this. Just think about this for a second. Okay, how many of you have kids? Okay, think of how different the world would be if every Fortune 500 company put a 7-year-old on the board of directors. You just have that one kid who's like, is this a good idea? You're an idiot. There you go. somebody's got something. Go.
The vehicle bay looks pretty busy.
It is.
Is it hard to get space
No.
in there?
It's not. The vehicle bay you see today is not the vehicle bay we're going to have in a year. We're working on a new building for that with 24 bays and 12 hoists. The vehicles that are in there right now are in there mainly because they're either being actively worked on, like the car on the hoist, that changes up constantly. And we actually have penalties for people that leave stuff on there. Every day you leave a car on that hoist, you're going to pay for it. It's not like $1,000 a day, but it's enough to say, oh, I gotta get that fixed. It's because I don't want people like, oh, I'll be back in a week. No. If you need a bay and not the hoist, we'll move the car out. Because like the Lotus, I can't park that in the parking lot. It's the west side. And they won't let me put a fence around the parking lot. The electric truck, you know, we'll roll them outside for the day, work on your car, stuff like that. We get a lot of people that will just pull up outside. Like if the weather's nice, today it would suck, but like tomorrow, 50 degrees, sunny, beautiful, we'll have people in the parking lot. Because you come inside, you grab the tools you need, and it's right there. We'll have the door wide open. As far as hoist stuff, we schedule that in advance. There's an hourly rate to it. You can buy it, I think the biggest block is you can buy it for the whole weekend, like if you want to swap an engine or something. But every day you leave the car in the parking lot, you're going to kick a couple bucks. Every day you leave it inside, it's a couple more. God help you if you leave it on the hoist. And we do things like if you leave the car here for a month, thank you for your donation. We're going to sell it for scrap. It's happened. Because we've had people who are like, no, I can't, because I got 50 guys fighting over the hoist. And you can schedule everything with Doogie. He was one of the guys killed with the norovirus. He'll be back on Tuesday. But if you're interested in getting time on a hoist, we're doing the whole thing on a website where it's like a calendar app. The same thing happens with the big CNC machines. There's only, I think, 3 things in the whole building that have any kind of a cost beyond just the $40 a month. The idea is I want to get the access as easy as possible. I want everybody to be able to play with everything as much as possible. But if you're only paying $40 a month as a member, when you fire up that giant CNC machine, if you're doing a couple hours of work, you just cost me $40 in electricity. And don't even get started on tools. It's totally possible to walk in a machine shop and put $10,000 in the palm of your hand in cutting tools. It's easy. And then people try more out of them. The things that have an additional cost beyond that are the vehicle hoist, because you need a babysitter. I can't let you do it alone. I don't care if you've been an ASE certified mechanic for 50 years. I'm going to have somebody next to you. The big CNC machines, because the electricity is huge. Those are like 20, 30 horsepower machines. And the 3D printing stuff, because consumables. I think that's it. Everything else beyond it. Everything in life. If you want to hang out in a laser lab all day, every day for a year, it's $40 a month. If I could find a way to do it at $20 a month, I'd do it. I want her to grow up and be an engineer.
I'm bored.
Huh?
I'm bored.
Oh, I'm horribly sorry. I thought you were a girl. I'm an evil bastard.
I didn't know.
It's a ponytail. I had hair down to my butt. I got the same thing. I understand.
Nothing wrong with it.
Huh?
Nothing wrong with it.
No, it's cool, but I got harassed about it a lot.
He doesn't like sharp objects that close to his head. And I just like the color of my hair.
Yeah, you got me totally beat on that. I got you beat though. I had pirate controls. What?
The car that was donated with the
Which
charge
car?
of making the cool.
The Lotus.
The Lotus. Okay, yeah.
With the charge of making an electric car.
Yeah.
If multiple people, like, let's say you get a whole bunch of people that want to work on that, do you leave it up to them to like who's going to be in charge and who's going to make the final decisions?
Oh, God.
How does that work?
No.
How does it work?
No. That would have been so bad. I made that mistake. For major flagship projects,
Right.
I have a project team, and because there's a video production aspect to it, there's a PR, and it's a thing. We'll get 50 people that want to be on the team.
Right.
They file an application on the website, and I'll do a call out saying, we're going to do this phase, and it may not be for the whole project. It might be, I'll put a team together and we're just going to do the transmission.
Okay.
Or we'll just do the engine or something, because I want to get as many people involved as I can. And you pick a team. And a lot of it's just gut feeling, a lot of it's guys I know. It's like, I don't know him, but his kid's a member, and I've been keywords and specific things that apply to that project, and a couple of people that have no idea, but have a lot of passion. And then they have the learning opportunity. And then we go from there. The other side to that coin is, if you want to come in and build a robot, and you can't do it on your own, you want to put together a project team, you can go on the website, in the forums, and say, hey, I'm doing this thing, I'm building a team, who wants in? And then just start interviewing. But a lot of what we do here is community making. And we've had people come here and form lifelong friendships. We've had several people come here and get married from people they met here, and I think that's pretty cool, because geeks, as a rule, are antisocial people. They don't have a lot of friends. We're the guys that got beat up at homecoming, okay? That's us. And to set out from the beginning is like, we want to create a peer group, a social group of antisocial people. It's yeah. Next question. Hit me.
Yeah, how long's you been in the building?
Been in this building or been in existence? We've been in this building since New Year's 2011, I think. Might be 12. I think it's 11.
Yeah, I thought it was December 2010 is what's in my mind is when you got the building.
It might be. I know we came to Grand Rapids from KZoo on May 15th, 2010. I think we got the building December 28th, 2010, but I might be off by a year. The Geek Group's been around since June of 1994. That's when we had our first lab. That's when things really started. Before that, we were a group of lunatics out of Grand Valley that did really stupid things with parachutes. I know fun ways to hurt yourself with Army surplus parachutes. Oh my god. But we started here, when we got this building, there was no electricity, no heat, and we started, New Year's. No running water anywhere. The bathrooms for the first winter were a floor drain in the basement, okay? And that was fun. It sucked really bad. And we've gone through, I can't imagine how much money has been spent to get us to where we are today. And it's in places you wouldn't think. Like the floor in this room is 20 grand. Yeah. $20,000 worth of floor. And this room and Studio C both have it. And it was donated by Armstrong, cool. We go through paint by the pallet load. And you can tell the rooms that are done as far as paint because they're gray and blue. If they're white, that's primer. That's just getting started. Then we had the fire and half of that got poured, so we had to repaint a bunch of stuff. But we've done all of this without any government funding, without any state or federal funding at all. We've had one large foundation support financially. A lot of them have donated stuff, but as far as actual cash, Rick DeVos came through, took a tour, was blown away, and sent us a check. It was like, you guys are cool, here. It was a really big check. And it's growing. And a lot of what we're doing is, we've got 7.5 million viewers on YouTube. I walk into Meijer, and I get somebody your age who's like, it's the lightning down! And at the same time, people across the street don't know what the hell we do. We're known on a global stage. We need to get known locally, and we're just starting to reach out. We just hired our first fundraiser, like our first real on-staff fundraiser like a month ago. We've been doing this 20 years. This is the first time we've done this. It's like, okay, let's do this for real. And now it's growing.
You mentioned there's no federal funds, but as a 501c3, would you be eligible for federal
Oh, God.
funds? Because
we
you're
just
helping
had
out
ask.
local businesses.
Yeah, we're just starting to ask. We're just starting to do grant applications and stuff like that. And it's a huge process.
Yeah.
If you need money from the grant cycle, you start asking in January. October, you'll start getting your no's. It can take you 6, 8, 10 months just to get the no's.
Wow.
No's are great. We love no's. No's are awesome. Yeses, you never get a yes. You'll never get a yes. You'll send out your proposals, get 300 no's, and you'll get half a dozen. Send us some more. Nobody ever says yes. They just give us. We're thinking about it, and then a check shows up, and you get the big envelope. That's what we look for, the big envelope. No, this is true in all of life. Okay. Bad news never comes in a big envelope. Bad news comes in little envelopes.
That's true.
Good news comes in big envelopes. The thicker the envelope, the better the news. All of the rejection letters we get, little envelope. When you get the yes, when you get the grant, we want to send you stuff, there's a big envelope. So we live for the big envelope. It's a thing. Remember that when you apply for college. All the no's, little envelopes. Next. Anything you want, there are no rules. It's weird, this is all that like operational stuff. Usually people ask me about like projects and stuff like that.
So you have all these equipment and machines, then we come in, we don't know how to run them and operate them? Are we
That's the
supposed
point.
to figure it out ourselves, or are we supposed to find somebody to show us the first time?
Let me answer her, then I'm you. It's a little bit of both. It depends a lot on what you want to do. But the overarching, the easy answer is we're here to help you on the path, but we're not here to do the work for you. I'm not here to teach you. I'm not a teacher. How many of you have a smartphone? Do you have a smartphone? Like, a little computer thing? Okay. When you guys got a smartphone, it came with a manual as thick as my thumb. And nobody reads the manual. You might keep the manual for a couple of days if you have a question or something, but you figure it out. That's how people actually learn. Like, you don't know what this is, but you want to.
I know.
Then you should come collect my copies with me. And that's the idea, is if I give you the thing, and all you have to bring is a sincere, passionate desire to learn. This is why we're very different than like a university. In a university, it's a push system. Sit down, shut up, we're going to push things into your brain. You all have to learn the same stuff. It's not how the world actually works. This building, the entire enterprise works on a pull system. If you come here because you have something you want to build, or something you want to learn, or something you want to do. I don't know what that is. I don't get to pick. You might come here wanting to build rockets. You might want to build robots. You might want to learn how to do embroidery. I don't get to pick.
3D printing.
And the idea is you come here and you've already got that passion, which is great because that's all you need. My job is to say, here's the machine, and here's a terminal, so that you've got the internet. You can learn a lot on the internet. And if you hit something that you can't figure out, we're here to answer your question. I might not know the answer, but that's okay because I know where to find the answer. And that's my job. I'm a catalyst, I'm not a teacher. My job is to just put the right pieces together and help you get where you want to go. And if you do something really stupid to keep you from hurting yourself. If he wants to come and learn how to program the big robot, my job is not to teach him how to program the robot. I wrote the book here, and I'll point him to the website to learn how. My job is to make sure of two things. He doesn't break the robot, and he doesn't kill himself. And I'll let you figure out which one I'm more attached to. You're next.
I wanted to, have you ever been able to make a successful animation
Oh,
with
God,
the
yes.
laser?
With the laser. Oh, like drawing a laser light show?
Yeah.
Yes, actually we have.
Animation.
We've done some really basic shapes. I haven't gotten too much into it because we're just baby steps. Like we got the laser light working. We can do that. We have the equipment to do that. We have done it to some very simple stuff. We've done some simple stuff with like Lizatius patterns and things like that. Did you fire up the thing?
Somebody worked with the signal generators, so right now it's doing a very simple flashing light pattern.
But you are quite capable. It would take you a while to figure it out, but I can put you in the right directions. You can do really cool stuff with a sound card and a laptop. Like just plugging a headphone out jack in a laptop, because the way the laser, in the simplest forms, the way it works is you have the laser beam, and then you bounce it off a mirror, and that's called a galvanometer. And then you bounce it off another galvo. And this one gives you the up and down, and this one gives you the left and right. Okay? And what tells the galvo where to be is a varying voltage. So if the voltage is like 5 volts, the galvo is over here. And if the voltage is 0 volts, the galvo is over here. So that moves your light, right? So think about this. A sound card on a laptop, like when you plug the headphones into a laptop, you've got 2 variable voltage power sources that move really crazy fast because you got to be able to move that speaker like 20,000 times a second. That's about how high humans can hear. You can hear up to about 20 or 22,000 cycles per second. I'm old, I can only hear about 15 or 18 because loud music and a lot of guns. So you have a device, if you take a laptop, you have these dual variable voltage outputs. You can hook the laptop sound card into the galvos, and you can design the software to be able to move them, and you turn pictures into sound, and you turn the sound back into pictures. You can do this, it's been done. People have done this with really cool stuff.
Okay, but I actually just got a second question from what you said.
Good, what do you got?
You've worked with guns in the geek group before?
No, I work with guns on my own. I do a lot of target shooting. You cannot come here and 3D print guns. If you bring your parent, though, we'll talk about it.
Question and answer.
Okay. You can build anything you want to within reason. I'm not going to let you come here and build pipe bombs unless you have a blasting certification and stuff like that. I'm not going to let you come here and hack your school's network. What I will do is duplicate your school's network and get you $100,000 worth of enterprise-level networking gear that you can explore and have all the fun that you would exploring your school's network, because what you really wanted to do was learn how to program the switch and the hub, and you really didn't care about trying to hack grades. That's how it works here. I'm not going to let you do things that are going to put somebody in prison, especially me. I'm allergic to jail. But there's very, very tiny rules as to what you can't do here. It's based on logic and reasoning, common sense. If you walk in here tomorrow, if you came in the door and said, I want to take pictures from space, we can do that. No problem. If you want to build a weather balloon and take a GoPro camera and launch that thing to the stratosphere, I can help you do that. You're going to do the work. It's a lot of work. And it costs a couple bucks. But it doesn't cost millions of dollars to take pictures from space. It's 1,000, maybe. Depends on helium prices. But you can do this. It's going to take all of you a while to realize the capabilities that you have now, just knowing that this place exists. You can do things that you don't realize you can do. And you're going to have these moments of being at home in a week, and you'll hit a problem, and you'll think, well, yeah, I can do that. Go to the geek group. They got the funny tool that I need to do that. We specialize in having that tool that you only need once a year. You know, you might need an induction heater. You might want to come down and make ice glow cherry red before it melts. You can do this. You can actually heat ice up so hot with an induction heater that it glows red before it melts. You can go the other way too. If you ever want to see water boil, like water in a jar, boil it, and then immediately freeze. In that shape with all the bubbles and all that, you can do this.
Oh, now I see that.
It's really cool. It's really easy to do. You can do that at home if you got a vacuum pump.
Dad, do we have a vacuum?
There's some simple science on this. Pressure, temperature, work together. If you take water and you lock it into something, you can get it really, really, really hot, way above boiling, and it won't boil. This is how the radiator in your car works. Okay? It works the other way too. If you suck the air out really, really fast and you put all the water under a vacuum, the temperature that it boils at goes way down, and it'll actually boil at room temperature. And while it's boiling, it's getting colder and colder and colder because it's getting rid of all that heat energy, and it'll freeze. It's really cool to see.
With all the bubbles and stuff?
Yep, with all the bubbles and stuff. It's not that hard to do. You can actually do this at home. You just need a pretty romping vacuum pump. I got a shelf full of really romping vacuum pumps.
Don't know if we have a romping vacuum chamber right now.
You can do it in the box.
Okay.
I think. Never tried it. I always just did it with a beaker. I'd take a big flask, like a boiling flask, and just run a hose and boom! And, yeah, freaks people out. It's really cool with Jello. You can have a lot of fun freezing Jello. There's all kinds of cool science in Jello. Jello totally freezes. You never had a Jello pop? Bill Cosby has lost his entire legacy on you. That's alright. I had somebody yesterday was talking about a Beckett play, very famous author, and the play is called Happy Days. And they're going off about this whole play, Happy Days, and all I can picture is the Fonz. And I made this joke about the Fonz, and they went, oh? God, I'm old! Oh! My computer, my personal computer that I built here for the geek group, and you can build one just like it, has 4 separate computers, like 3 of them are full towers. It has, I think, 18 monitors. You have to check, but I think we're currently at 18 monitors. My desk is 8 feet wide, 8 feet deep, about this tall. 4 of the monitors are 32-inch 4K displays. Do you know what a 4K display is? You've seen high def, right? High def is like about 1,200 pixels. This is 4,000 pixels. So if you took 4 high def screens and put them all on the same screen, it's that many pixels. I got 4 of those. Boom, boom, yeah. And it has the desk, and then on this side there's 2 full racks of equipment. From my computer, I can do anything you can possibly. And my computer does, like, most people, if you ask them what their operating system is, they say Windows or Linux or Mac. I say yes. My computer runs Windows, Linux, and Mac at the same time. All 3. And all of these monitors in that are shared among 4 different computers, but you only have 1 keyboard and mouse, and you can just drag it right across. And it's neat. It's on my Facebook page. And you're going to see videos on it coming out. In fact, the first video is already out. We took a Mac Pro and we opened it up and we just started cramming. We crammed so much stuff into a full tower Mac Pro that we had to take the door off it, a big metal panel, take it to the machine shop, cut a hole in the side, and put it, because the cables wouldn't all fit. And I didn't want to crimp the cables, so we cut a hole in the side of a $2,000 computer. I got a lot of hate mail on the internet for that one. But yes, you can build. There is no limit to the computer you can build. You want to see the coolest computer you ever saw?
Yeah.
It's really cool. That's actually really sexy. Alright, wait here, I'll be right back. It's 2 rooms away.
Yes, this is a typical day for the geek group where he runs off and does things.
I want to see it.
Step outside and
Yeah, if you need to, that's not a problem. Just keep in mind we don't get the best cell phone signal in this room.
This looks like a trash can, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it's too shy.
That is the most powerful Macintosh computer money can buy. That's the whole thing. You take that, you hook it to a screen and a keyboard and a mouse, and you're set. All of the plugs are on the back. That's it. This looks like something out of a James Bond movie, doesn't it? It looks like something out of a warhead. That's one of the new trash can Macs. That's a Mac Pro. We just got a few of these donated for use in our studios. This is what we have video on. And they're just so cool.
Yeah.
Now, this is why I want to show this to you guys. Because first off, this is nerd porn, right? This is just, whoa, that's cool! But the people that made this, the people that came up with this, they're not gods. They're not magicians. You guys can do this. You can. You could be designing this. There's no reason you can't. You probably can't do it on your own. You're probably going to need some help along the way. But that's what this place is for. Because somebody somewhere had to think this up. Well, why can't you? And there isn't a person in this room over the age of 20 who has not at some point in their life seen something on television and thought, "Man, how did that come up with that?" Or you'll have a really cool idea and see it on TV in the middle of the night. But man, I thought of that like when I was 10. This is the place to do that, to take that idea and make it into something real. That's why we're here. Because you can invent something this elegant. And that's what this is. This is the greatest compliment in engineering, is to have somebody say that's elegant. Because in engineering, as a rule, form follows function. There's a reason a chair looks like a chair. And to be able to design something where it's not just functional, but it's elegant. That entire cover comes off with one switch. You just flip the little switch, boop, pops right off. That's elegant. It's simple. It works. That's it. The whole outside is just featureless. There's an air intake at the bottom, an air exhaust at the top, and a bunch of plugs on the back, and that's it.
Except it runs on Mac.
Huh?
Windows user.
He doesn't like Mac because
It doesn't run on Mac. It runs on OS X, but OS X is based off of Unix.
Yeah.
That's closer to a Linux machine than your classic Macintosh. And that Mac right there will quite happily run Windows. in any flavor you want. If you want to put Windows 7 on there, no problem. Windows 8 is even easier. I have a Mac laptop, my Mac Pro, that you boot it and it's a Mac. You reboot it and it's Windows. You reboot it and it's Linux. The operating system is just whatever you need at that moment.
I think he doesn't like it.
Yeah, it's a triple boot system.
I think he doesn't like it because it doesn't have a back button.
That's my problem with the Mac smartphones. They don't have a back button.
Yeah, they do.
Like if you're in an app or something and you want to adjust back a little bit.
Usually, if you're in several layers, because if you just want to crash out, hit the button in your Mac phone. But with every Mac thing I've got, I mean, this is current gen. You might have something older or something, I don't know. But I've got an iPad, I got an iPhone, I got thrown into Mac. I hated Mac at first, hated it. But as a rule, in any decent modern day design app, up at the top left, there's usually a button that'll take you back one layer. If you can't find it, get me, and I'll help you find a way. And if it still doesn't exist, like if you and I can't find it either way, I got a whole lot of guys and they can figure it out. As a rule, Macs tend to be really ease of use. That's their thing. They're for people who want to use a computer, not work on a computer. And whereas the Linux is the other end of the spectrum, and I use both, depending on what I'm doing.
And Windows is kind of a jack of all trades.
Windows is just the lowest common denominator. Windows is what I use because I can't get it to run in anything else. What?
The CNC router, where are you at as far as state capacity on usage?
You're fine. I wouldn't worry about it yet. And the cool thing is when we get to where capacity is a problem, we'll get another one.
The other question I have is, I typically work until 5. And the hours say 10 to 6.
We're moving from 10 to 6 to 10 to 10, and who the hell is playing the drums?
I don't know.
But we're moving from 10 to 6 to 10 to 10. We're actually, it was noon to 6 to 10 to 10. And once the cafe's online, we'll be 24/7. If you remember, once you're out of the pro stage, once we know that he's cool and everybody knows your name, you're one of the guys, it's totally normal to show up here and not leave for 2 days. Nobody's going to talk about it. It's a rock and roll environment. There's a reason that there are showers in the locker room upstairs and we're putting a cafe. I want this to be a place where people regularly are hanging out at 3 and 4 in the morning. That's what we're here for. Because nerds tend to work in a 24-hour job. Yeah. I want it to be the kind of place where you can show up and hang out and work all night and go up to the cafe and grab a piece of pizza and just chill out and play some video games because our cafe has soldering irons and video games and it's that kind of place.
You have video games?
Yeah, we have video games. I got 2
The
different
one you
machines.
saw in the lobby didn't work.
Yeah,
There's
well,
one that was hooked up to a computer.
the one that you saw in the lobby, the big stand-up video game, has 7,600 games in it. And half the time the damn thing doesn't work because Todd keeps upgrading it. Or somebody else keeps upgrading it, but I'm not going to say their name on camera because they're a horrible person and should leave the damn thing alone. And that's a normal thing around here. Nothing's ever done. The remodel is never done. This building will probably be under some manner of constant remodel for the next 20 years, and that's actually the way it should be.
I know I'm leading into a different topic, but how many video games do you have at the cafe?
Well, in that one machine, there's 7,600 different games, and we're going to be adding a full arcade in there of real 80s vintage, real games. And I have a bit of a fetish for pinball machines.
I love pinball.
I like pinball machines, too. But we're adding, there will be lots of video games. Surprisingly, not a lot of people in the lab play video games, because once you come here, it's a pretty regular thing to meet people here that I don't even own a television. You go to a regular office, 9 to 5 thing, and people spend half their day talking about what was on TV the night before. That doesn't happen here. Because there's actual stuff to do. Get off the computer, let's go build you. Let's do something.
I disagree. There's a few people in this building who play video games. You just don't.
There are a few, but I don't hang out with those people because they're lame.
They're also pretty much your entire audiovisual department.
Yeah, Stephen plays a lot of video games.
So does Elizabeth.
Yeah, but she's not very good at it.
And I play Minecraft.
I've never played Minecraft. I want to check it out. I just can't bring myself to install a video game on my computer. It's
Basically
dirty.
a sandbox game for...
Oh, I know what it is. I know all about it. I just never played with it because it's got a nifty physics engine. I want to check that out. There's one video game that it can count as a video game that I played. I have a simulator for my helicopters because I fly 6-channel collective pitch, and this will give you fits. So I got sick of buying parts, so I bought a simulator, and that helped a lot. Next question.
You said you're moving to 10 o'clock closing. When is the expected time of that transition?
Let me know when you want to start showing up.
All right. You also said on the tour, you said Autodesk is starting to sponsor you guys.
Autodesk isn't starting to. They donated $250,000 worth of software last week. I think it's fair to say they're starting to sponsor us. Yes.
And that's sponsorship, I guess. With that software, is that software that's going to be on machines here, or
Yes.
is that software numbers going to be?
No, you have to come here to use it.
Okay.
However, there is a really nifty free version of software for Autodesk. It's the Fusion thing.
Yep.
You can download that at home, totally free, and anything you design in there, you can bring in here and do the next level of stuff too. So you can do a lot of your preliminary head scratching stuff there. It is normal, especially with the CNC guys, where they'll hang out in the lobby and just sit there and eat and just chill and twiddle on their laptop and get their rough design down. And that's still like, if you're here doing that using our software and machines, you don't pay for CNC time until you're on the machine. All of it, which is 90% of the time, is all the design stuff.
Yep.
That's $40 a month, man. You can use that machine, $40 a month. Every day, all day, no problem. And you were asking about capacity and stuff. Capacity is real simple here. The minute I start having a problem with capacity, we buy another one, we build another one, we do another one. Because that's the point. Access. It's all about access. It's all about empowering you guys with the ability to create. I would love nothing more than to see all 3 of those machines booked 24/7, 3 months in advance. If that happens, I'll put 3 more of them right next to them, and Haas will be very happy to do it. So, yeah,
We'll also need another building.
working on that.
I know you are.
Currently, we have in the works right now 3 more buildings. One of them is a dorm. One of them is the automotive, and one of them is high voltage. But we have 3 more buildings in the works right now.
I'm going to go back to what she said about what kind of training do you need and the CNC equipment, because I know Ben and I are both big into that, we're both engineers and love to make stuff with CNC equipment. But we don't have CNC equipment experience. We've been engineers who design it and then hand it off to the machinists.
You'll get it.
What, I guess, I'm probably more afraid to break that machine than anything.
And there's a lot of safety steps to prevent that. You're going to screw up. It's going to happen. But my job is to make sure you don't get collisions and stuff like that. And these are problems that are bad and easy to fix. That's why we do a lot of stuff in software. Because the machine is stupid. The machine is going to do exactly what you tell it to do. We'll help you get it. Because it's just G code. It's not accurate. They invented this stuff with DOS era programming. It's not rocket science. G code, I know a few people that can walk up to a machine without ever, pick up the part, draw the picture with a pen.
Yep.
And manually code G code to make the part. I've seen this, I know a guy who can do it all the time, it's his thing. At most he needs a calculator to do some of the, if he's doing thread milling. I watched the guy, it's on video. If you watch our thread milling video, Iskar Rick walks up, uses nothing but his phone and a sheet of paper, and hand codes thread milling on the router. Done. Does it in 10 minutes. I'm watching this oh! Yeah, he's hardcore. But before you're going to turn the machine on, you're going to spend a lot of time in software. Once you've got your part worked out in software, then you work out your tool paths. After you've got your tool paths, then we software simulate it on the machine, and you can see it, and you can see if you're going to get a collision. It won't tell you if your part's going to look right or your part's going to fit, but it'll say, you're not going to run the spindle into the table. Good. And that's my level of responsibility. I need to make sure you don't kill yourself and you don't kill the machine. Within reason. You could still, either one of those could happen. You'll have a really bad day.
Our waiver covers death, dismemberment, disembowelment, decapitation, and disfigurement. Not yet.
And we've had, don't think for a moment that you would be the first guy who hasn't made that machine make a really expensive sound. It happens. And no matter how good you are, if you're doing it long enough, it's going to happen. You're going to screw up. Everybody knows. Fail better. That's how it works. Fail better. You're going to fail. It's going to hurt. The high voltage one, that's my word. I do high voltage. High voltage physics is weeks of boredom interspersed with minutes of absolute butt-clenching terror. You're going to screw up. High voltage physics is very much a pass-fail world. It either works or everybody dies. There's no middle ground. And man, I've been in that room and watched Amron makes time delay relays. They cost $206 a piece. Had 24 of them rounded out in Denver. And I watched an avalanche happen, just pop, 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 all the way down. And every time one of those went pop and started exploding, it was $200. It'll happen. The idea is that this is a place where you can make those mistakes and you don't end up in prison or never owning a house again or, pick one. The idea here is that I want to give you a place where you can fail better and you can do it preferably without killing yourself or somebody else. But it's a place to take those chances.
So getting the training not to kill myself, is that pretty open on, like Ben and I work 8 to 6 every day usually. On Saturday, is that resource available on Saturday?
Yes. It's not going to be like a class, like today we're going to talk about tool holders. It's not like that. It's you walk in and you're like, I want to do this. Where do I start? And somebody's going to sit you down at a computer and say, play with this. If you come in saying, I want to build a part in a week, you're screwed. You have absolutely no concept of reasonable expectations. And we get people to walk in and honestly think it's download, file, print. No. But if you come at it as, I want to learn how to do this, and I have all the time in the world, and it's not about production, then it's easy. And it's like, okay, well, you've got this. Now let's work on this. And they'll point you in the right direction, because the resources are there. We have the resources. But if you want somebody to hold your hand and take you through it step by step, then you're going to kill yourself. That's how it works here. It's not a lead you by the hand. It's like, okay, you need to know this. You have to be self-motivated. Right? The more motivated you are, the harder you're learning. I've had people come in and go from nothing to parts in a couple weeks. It depends a lot on how complicated it is. 3D printing is a lot easier, and you'll probably 3D print parts before you get onto this interactive machines, just because it's a lot harder to break a 3D printer. That being said, there's a long way between our basic little 3D printers to our big 3D printer. We have a $34,000 3D printer with a cubic foot working with it. I mean, it's the size of a refrigerator. It's up a wall here. And you can use this.
Is it printing? Is it working?
At the moment, not at this moment, but if you turned it on and put a file in it and print, it's operational. It's just not in use at the moment. I don't think it might be.
I don't think it's even plugged into the wall at the moment.
Yeah, they're running power to set it up out there. Everything's moving around. Our 3D printing lab's a little warped because there's no heat down there, so we put a couple 3D printers up here so that people can use them. Next question. Hi, Ed. Hey. Oh, if any of you are coming here to learn about electronics, this is Stephen LeMay. He's our new head of the electronics department. Pretty cool guy. He just moved up here from Florida to do this. Had a job, had a life, had a house, all that jazz. Walked away from all that to be here. That's hard. That's balls. And yeah, we're proud of you. Next question.
So if we broke something in the process, it's trial and error, we are not liable to pay for it.
Within reason, no. We have 3 different insurance companies that are protecting you and us. It depends a lot on how it got broken and why. If you're here using the big giant robot and you have your code checked by somebody before it runs and you run a successful simulation and something just goes wrong and the robot breaks itself, you're not liable. But if he comes in here and the last thing I hear before I hear the expensive sound is, hey y'all watch this, then I own his car. So it's logic, reason, and common sense.
Accidents happen. We're okay with that.
Yeah, and I've made very, very expensive mistakes. Okay? And it's okay. It happens.
Let me guess, Tesla going up?
Loose screw.
Why loose screw?
One loose screw. Burned down the entire Tesla code. Destroyed everything in the high voltage lab, made a mess of the entire building, cost us thousands of dollars.
Years of work.
One screw.
One loose screw. And not a lot loose, like half a turn too loose. One loose screw.
Dang.
Yeah, something like that. And the worst part of that isn't the loose screw or isn't the mess, it's the fact that everything here happens in front of 160 cameras and 7.5 million people. So the internet's going to make me its bitch for a while. And yeah, that comes with the job. because I screwed up. And here, it's not my job to say, you know, it's not like Mythbusters. It's not like television where they screw up 15 times and they just edit that out. Things here happen live. So when I screw up, I'm going to eat it in front of the world. And they make fun of me a lot on the internet for that. It's kind of like that. I make a fool of myself publicly and often. It's the secret to our success.
The magnets.
That still hurts to think about. If you ever want to go find our blooper reel on YouTube, there's a shot of me with 2 magnets. I'm playing with them like this, and they go. And this thing in your nose is called the septum. And I got a pair of little cylindrical neodymium. They're like really, really super strong magnets, and they go just right. Oh my God. I might be able to just wow. Hurts like heartbreak. Hi puppy, this is on the underdog.
And that is the second most painful thing he's done to himself.
Next question. Ami, you have to go pee. Go side. Because Steven's there wearing a coat, which tells me you're on your way out. Ami had a tumor on her foot, so they cut off the tumor. 3 months later, she had 7 tumors on her foot, so they took off the leg. It's not easy being that dog. Next. Anything?
That dog has bad luck.
That dog has great luck. With the life that she's had to go through, that's my dog. I work in high voltage physics. That poor dog has spent her whole life running away from explosions. She's learned now. We have a warning siren in the high voltage lab. When she hears, you'll just see the dog go trot in the other direction. Go, no, I ain't doing that. She's used to a lot. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, you mentioned you had a fire, and as a parent, I'm thinking about safety issue. Are you all, this is a huge building, are you all, like, up to par with the fire safety code, or I don't see any sprinklers?
No, we're not. And you know why? If you ever hire a contractor, it's a normal question for people when they hire a contractor to say, you build buildings to code. If he says yes, don't hire him. Code is, if he says yes, what he's saying is, yes, I build my buildings to the absolute minimum possible standards that I can legally get away with without going to jail. Code is a floor. We don't build things here to code. Code calls that for every 15 amp circuit this building is wired in, that I should pay the electricians to install a, what would that be? 12 gauge, 14 gauge wire. All of the 15 amp circuits in this building use 12 gauge wire, which is what a 20 amp circuit requires. We go one step beyond. We had in this building, because I wanted this, that's a really good question, it's important, because we play with dangerous stuff. The fire happened in a high voltage lab because of the loose screw. It was my fault. The loose screw held in a little tiny piece of tungsten, about as big as your finger. That little tiny piece of tungsten is a lot heavier than you think. Tungsten is pretty much one of the heaviest things you'll ever touch. It's heavier than gold. That piece of tungsten was mounted on a 12-inch disc spinning 3,600 RPM. When it left that disc, it had the velocity, and it had the kinetic energy of the 44 Magnum bullet. It was also about as hot as the surface of the sun. It flew into a polypropylene capacitor that was located right next to it. Now this all happened inside an 8-foot room, a little cube room entirely out of concrete that was designed exactly for this to happen. The capacitor was made out of polypropylene, which turns out burns at about 1,000 degrees. It's really hot. It's about 2 or 3 times as hot as your oven at home will go on maximum setting. Everything did exactly what it was supposed to. The fire never left that room. But we had a curtain, a welding curtain, designed for people to be welding next to, shooting sparks at it all day long, that sealed the room. Because inside the room where this rotary gap was working, it was really bright, and I wanted people to be able to come in and see stuff and not get hurt. Because it was so bright it would hurt your eyes. If you look at it, it would burn your eyes. So we put a welding curtain in. The welding curtain was fire resistant. Somewhere, a lot of lawyers made a lot of money defining the difference between resistant and retardant. So when the welding curtain burst into flames, entire building got covered in a fine black powder. Have you ever played with printer toner? That's what the soot from this fire was like. It covers everything, it does not wash off. If you get it wet, try wiping off like water or spray cleaner, it just makes it worse. Now it's in. That's the part that made the papers, that's the part that everybody saw, that's what got surprised. This is what people didn't see. From being completely occupied in use on a busy day to being completely empty, had a head count done, and people in the parking lot in less than 2 minutes. Done. We have backup plans to backup plans to backup plans. We play with crazy dangerous stuff. The building is full of things that will kill you the moment you don't respect them. And because of that, we're very aware of the danger. In the years that we've been doing this, we've had people get hurt, we've had people get seriously hurt, and it will happen. And that's okay. We've had people come here and cut chunks off of their arm. It's never happened to a member of the public. We've never had anybody get seriously injured. I count seriously injured as more than stitches. Like, you're going to the hospital. That's seriously injured. But you're going to the emergency room because you need a couple stitches because you're an idiot, you really shouldn't have been playing with that. That happens. It takes 3 different insurance companies to insure the heat group. It took us 2.5 months to go from the process of we need to upgrade the insurance to we have insurance and can open to the public. It took 2.5 months and 3 different insurance companies at the same time. And that's not counting the vehicle fleet. That's just the building, the things in it, and the people. Because it turns out people can be pretty dumb. I know, I'm pretty dumb all the time. But everybody here, everybody who works here, is very competent in the dangers associated with their area. Despite that, people are going to get hurt, but it's not, I can't stop people from getting hurt. People are going to get hurt. It's how we handle that. It's, okay, you set the room on fire. My job is to make sure that he knew that that's the room you play with fire in. It's okay to play with fire in a high voltage lab. Totally cool. Big concrete room, we're ready. You don't play with fire in here. That would be bad. Don't play with fire in the chemistry lab. It would be really bad. And then it's how you handle it. Okay, he set the high voltage lab on fire. It's designed for that. It's concrete. We're going to scorch the walls, and he's going to spend a couple weekends down here with the paintbrush, and it's going to be okay. But it matters a lot more to me that when he set the high voltage lab on fire, the first thing he did was remember to close the door on the way out and start yelling a whole lot and hit the alarm button on the wall, and then everybody else knows what to do. It may be your first day here, you don't know the fire systems and all that. That's fine. When it starts making the loud noise and the flashy light, my job is to make sure that he, on the way out, is going to grab you by the arm and say, we're going to go now. Because in about 10 minutes, that's when the yelling starts. And we do that. The fire department knows where we are. They know our address. They're here every year or so for something or other. The last time was a gas leak. If you ever want to meet all your neighbors, have a gas leak. All the neighbors. But it's how we handle that. And we train for that, and we drill for that, and it's everything. It isn't just fire. We have to be ready for tornadoes. I have to be ready when he goes into anaphylactic shock because he ate a peanut he shouldn't. It's all kinds of stuff. It's how do you handle the death house? How many of your staff knows ASL? And a million other things. And some of them we're ready for, some of them we're not. We're learning. But it's that basic preparedness. We keep medical staff on site. Most of us are trained in some manner of advanced first aid. As we get further along, it is a basic goal that every member of staff will be at least at the first responder level of first aid training and have a CPR card. That's my bare minimum. And I'm going to, there's actually incentives in the pay scale here for people that work here that if you learn ASL, sign language, you get a raise because that's a useful skill. I want to have smart people that work here. So, does that answer your question? Okay. That being said, it's entirely possible to help. So, it's okay. At that age, you don't have a lot invested in it yet. You haven't paid for college or anything. You just make another one. No problem. You're totally replaceable. Next. Is that it? Surprise me. Somebody's got one really good weird one. No? You guys are that easy? Okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a coach.
Cheese.
I love cheese. I grew up in a dairy farm.
Who doesn't like cheese?
There you go. Do you like cows?
Yes.
There's a can't tell you all the details, but I can tell you this much. It's really cool. This is neat science. And one of our members is doing this. It's a neat project. You feed cows seed, right? They get like grains and stuff, raw grains, right? Well, grains have X amount of chemical energy in them, right? If you take the grain, which is mostly seeds, if you put those seeds in the ground and you let them grow just a little bit, you get like grass this high. All you've done is taken the seed and added water and sunlight to it. But now, you've got 10 times more stuff. And the cows eat better, and the cows are healthier, and there's more protein in there, and it's changing the protein structure to carbohydrate structure, it goes from sugars to carbs, and all this. There's science, there's stuff. And it doesn't cost anything. You buy, let's say feed costs $1 a pound, okay? And you take the raw feed, you plant it, and you grow a little bit, you just hatch it. Okay, there's a word for it, you germinate it. And now you've got 5 times more, you have 5 pounds of stuff. And all you did is let it rain and put sun on it. And now you have happier cows, and they eat better, and they make more milk, and they make better meat. And everybody wins, and they're happy cows! Just because you planted this stuff. The problem is it's really hard to plant it. You have to put it in the ground, you have to take it out of the ground, you have to clean the dirt off, there's a whole job. So what if you got a way where you didn't have to actually plant it? You can just germinate and grow it, and then feed it to the cows. We have a guy, a member here. He lives in Coopersville. Awesome guy. I've known him since 2nd grade. He invented this whole system. He's doing it, he's building a company because he grew up on a dairy farm. He likes cows, he wants to have happy cows. And he's like, I can do this, and this is easy. So he had to have a big machine to do it. Big machines are hard to build. He's a farmer, he knows about cows, he doesn't know about gears and bearings. So he came here, and now he built this whole thing. And he makes cheese. So you should check, if you ever want to have like really, really good cheese, Grass Fields is the name of the dairy, it's Grass Fields, and they're on Coopersville. And you can meet the cows. You can get cheese there, and you can pet the cow that the cheese came from. And it's really awesome. And it's 15 minutes from here.
What's your favorite kind of cheese?
These are the ones that I love.
Aren't you lactose intolerant?
I am lactose intolerant, but I can do a little bit of cheese. Really, really, really hard cheddars. I like hard cheese. I don't like soft cheese because I know way too much about bacteriology to ever want to eat soft cheese. If you knew what I knew about bacteria, you'd never eat soft cheeses. Oh, God. Anything else, guys? All right, thank you, all of you, for coming. Sign up, be a member, change the world. I know you from somewhere. Mail call! You're on? All right, guys, time for viewer mail. It's 14:54 hours today because I talked for a hell of a long time. Did you guys get to see that? Were you able, did you have audio?
We heard you great.
You heard, there was good audio and everything? Okay. Let's do viewer mail. First thing in viewer mail, this is for Doogie. So much porn. Oh, hey, Doogie! The replacement parts for the drone that you broke that I told you not to do flips with are here. They arrived. For the drone that you broke when I told you don't do flips with the drone yet. The parts have arrived. The parts that cost 20 bucks. I'm going to bug you about that for a long time, so you know. Because you did flips with the drone that I told you not to do flips with. Remember that drone? This is from Tonks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is this your coffee?
Yeah.
Oh, I get to smell your beans. Oh, me dog! Oh God, this is good. I want to read it. I want to read it.
Rwanda this time.
It's from Rwanda. Hello again. It's still true. Even after 2 shipments of Tonks, you're awesome. Clearly, Derek Archer thought so too. Sadly, this is your last gifted shipment of Tonks. But the freshly roasted coffee doesn't have to end with this shipment. Head over to tonks.org to keep the coffee flowing. Reach out if you have any other questions to the Tonksians. So how are you liking the coffee?
I haven't had it. Elizabeth has.
She's been drinking all your coffee?
What?
She's been drinking all your coffee?
Do we have a coffee grinder here? No?
Do you need one?
We do.
How do you expect to, oh, we do? Oh.
We need a coffee grinder because we have a lot of coffee beans in the building.
Okay. Guys, somebody put a coffee grinder on the Amazon wish list, and I'm sure somebody will sort it out.
By the time this goes live, it will be on the wish list.
Okay. Actually, given the IRC, I'd be surprised if by the time this goes live, we wasn't already shipping on its way here. This is from Feng Chen, King Yuan Zhao Ku Zhu Fu Zong. And right now, the entire country of China just pooped a little.
Well, considering the flack that Colbert is getting.
It's okay, China can't comment on our videos.
Does this mean I should start digging on North Korea? This has got to be for you. Because there is no human on Earth other than you who bought that. You and Elton John. Okay, that's it.
You need to look at it more closely. You have to open it.
Do I have to open it? Can I? Yes. No. You gotta want it. It's a keyboard condom for a Mac chiplet keyboard.
It should be French Canadian.
Yeah, it's all weird. It's French Canadian. So you have a neon pink French Canadian keyboard condom.
Yeah.
Your mother loves you. Oh, wait, there's more. It comes with a Ming-free microfiber cloth, and it's got a little embossing thing for stars with 10% off for the next time you need a keyboard condom. How do things like that end up in you? Oh, this is for Doogie from California Tools in Sylmar, California. Doesn't say who ordered it, but it is a magnetic fender cover, which is good. We need a few of those, actually.
I think I remember hearing David talking about
There's a note, there's a note, there's a note. No, that's contact us. Whoa! I'm your dog! I'm your puppy, needs a cookie. Cookie! Today's cookie is brought to you by Matt Thomas, BoltDepot.com. It's a very heavy box, because that's what Bolt Depot does. Wow! Okay! And this is great because Batman has a week off of work. 1032. 1032, those are the same. And then shiny screws. These are stainless from the looks of it. Yeah, those are stainless. And then not so shiny screws. And then bolts. 1/4-20. 632. Screws for wood. Screws for metal. Screws for zippers, because they're called zip screws. Little screws in a box. And washers. And dryers. And really bloody huge washers. And Matt's nuts. And little tiny screws. Medium washers. And bolts. And bolts. And BoltDepot.com. And bolts. And bolts. And screws. And bolts. And bolts. And washers. And, oh God, the 1/4-20 3/8. The high holy most used bolt in the lab. And washers. And washers. And these washers, but not these washers. And these bolts. And these screws. And these screws. And these bolts. And a piece of paper way the hell on the bottom. That is the invoice. Shipped to Batman. Bolt room. It's not the bolt room, it's the Bolt Depot. sponsored by BoltDepot.com. All right, that's it for viewer mail for the day. You guys have fun. I'm Chris Boden, and I am finally done talking for the first time in 3 hours. We'll be back.
I don't think I'm having an effect.
So what you making, Mike?
Parts for Martha.
Oh, okay. That's
It's
pretty
gonna be
cool.
a bunch of those little drawer organizers.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if you've seen it before.
So, how long you been here?
4 weeks.
What'd you think?
It's awesome.
Today you're heading back home?
Yep.
Okay, where's home?
Holland.
Okay.
The real Holland.
The real Holland?
Yep.
Not
Not
the
this-
giant city that's only a few miles from here?
Not the fake Holland.
There's like 100,000 people who hate you right now.
And I'm proud of it.
So what'd you think?
You should come here. Really. Just save up some money, do it. It's worth it. Every single cent of it.
We're glad you had fun. We'll see you next year.
Maybe, or year after.
Okay.
We'll see.
It's you and all of you. It's just we keep getting they just keep showing up.
Once you come here,
Oliver's on his way. Yes.
once you come here, you want to get back. It's a thing.
Well, we're happy to have you. You come back anytime you want.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.